I always liked that sticker. I don't even know where I got it. Somewhere online, like these Harley Quinn stickers. Anyway, I'm reminded, I was thinking a lot about the Clint Eastwood movie, one of the greatest of his, and really one of the great movies all times was Unforgiven. Won the Oscar for Picture of the Year, and I think it's even in the AFI Top 100. So Clint's back to settle the score, and he's got Gene Hackman, the sheriff, Little Bill. He's got him shot and down on the floor. And he's the good guy. He's the sheriff. He's trying to do right by everybody and building the house, doing all his hard work, and, saving the town and everything. And Clint's got him dead to rights and got the double barrels in his nose. And Gene Hackman, Little Bill, the sheriff, the good guy, he goes, I don't deserve this. And Clint goes, deserve's got nothing to do with it. And then he blows his brains out. So, yeah, I've been dying to talk to you guys about the event, but seeing as how I lost my voice 2 days before the event, because I was sicker than a dog, this is the first time I had any voice at all. I sounded, if I pushed real hard, I sounded like a Smurf at the event. And, of course, I went to hang out with all my buddies and my flying buddies and have a great time. And none of them wanted to hang out with me because I was walking around sick as a dog. So I didn't get to socialize with anybody. And I barely went, the well-laid plans of mice and men, it's a 3-day event, but I was going to get there Wednesday because I hadn't flown 2 or 3 weeks before, or longer, really, when you think about it. I had flown a couple times for 2 or 3 flights, but I hadn't been flying regular for a while. But it was all the master plan, and I had the time. So starting Wednesday, I was going to go fly out at the event field, get a trailer, stay there, and have it delivered. And then, fly there Thursday, and then when everybody came Friday, I'd be pretty zoned in, used to the field, back in the groove of flying, get to hang out with all my buddies. I was really looking forward to, Matt and Vincent from up north, and then especially Juan Sanchez. I always like to learn from him, and he's fun to hang out with. And then, Andrew, Mike, and Nate, want to hang out with them, and Joe McBride. And then, my boys came from OCMA, just with their cell phones, though, but, Mark and Alvin and Chris. So, yeah, big plans. And then Dunny came down, Matt Dunmire from the Bay Area, from Stanford, and yeah, gonna be good times. And Kim Quinette came. I wanted to, yeah, I really wanted to hang out with everybody and have some fun, and be dialed in. Kind of all started when my grandson was gonna come out. I've been telling you guys about that, and he got here, and I usually don't sleep a lot, but he's a year old, and he's a little firecracker, man. My daughter warned me. She said, you better get some sleep before he comes out. And she says, we could stay at a hotel. I go, no, you got to stay with me, so stay with us. It's grandma and grandpa. So then yeah, they were here for a week prior to the event, and it was going pretty rough as far as sleep goes. Was not getting any sleep. And then my daughter had a kidney stone bout. She's about the same age as when I started getting my kidney stones, and it was pretty brutal. So we ended up going. We were like all Saturday. We were dealing with it. Saturday night, it was getting real bad. Nobody's getting any rest or sleep or anything. And then about midnight Saturday night, I said, man, I got to take you to the ER, so get some morphine, Morphine didn't even cut it. I got her over the ER, and they had to really lay some heavy drugs on her, and it took them about 2 hours to really get the pain under control, where she could relax, start thinking about passing those things. And she ended up, not past them. She got surgery on Thursday, the day before the event. So I spent the night with her there, yelling at doctors and nurses, trying to get some attention to get her taken care of. And I felt pretty wiped out Sunday, but they didn't let me sleep Sunday. I got Junior, little Briggs. And I was getting pretty beat. I was starting to feel Sunday, like, and I'm always pushing it. I've been really pushing hard the last 4 years. I think since I turned 60, I just started nesting. And like, you got much time left for anything. You can barely see, you can't move. So I was pretty beat. And then that trip pretty much kicked my ass. Then Sunday, they didn't leave till Tuesday, but Sunday I was already feeling pretty rough. I felt like I was operating at about 2%. I was smiling all the time, but I didn't even know where it was. And starting to get a sore throat, not feel too great, get congested. By the time I got up early again to take them for traffic to LAX. And by the time I came home Tuesday night, I was really shot, or Tuesday afternoon, sorry, about noon, but I can't even remember things straight. I think I had just put the smoke system in this plane for the event, because this is my favorite plane, hands down, bar none. Forget about it. And I wanted to go check it out. I don't even know if I got dates and times right now, but I believe I got home and sleptwalked through putting this in the van and driving it. You can't go to my local field OC for smoke, so I drove to Prado in Chino, I'm pretty sure. And I think I posted a video. So that would, if I'm right about that date, it would have been Tuesday night. Now I could be wrong. No, it would have been a whole week before. It's possible I did it before she came. And if I didn't do it Tuesday, I know I got things ready. Anyway, I was in a fog Tuesday afternoon, but I was trying to get things ready for the event. But it was really starting to come down hard. And then I thought, well, it's okay. I'll get a good night's sleep. I'll get out the field on Wednesday like I had planned. So I got a couple days before the event to get tuned up, and I wanted to check the smoke systems and everything on the two planes I took. Both had smoke systems. Yeah, I tell you, Wednesday, there was no getting out of bed. No getting out of bed. And my voice started to disappear. And I was starting to feel really rough. Not even as much symptoms, as just dead, like literally, like 1%, like 0.5%, just barely alive. Just, I was planning the event for months and I was very excited to go to the event, couldn't wait. Usually the endorphins from stuff like that, they'll get you going, you'll get going and, even if you feel pretty bad, but nothing. Wednesday, I didn't do a thing. So laid in bed and then all Wednesday night. And I thought, well, it's fine. It's like staying up late when you're a kid, you think, well, if I get to bed by 1, I'll be okay for school. Then if I get to bed by 3, if I get to bed by 5, So I thought, well, I got Thursday, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Thursday's fine. I'll have a whole day before anybody shows up. Nobody usually shows up early on Fridays. Anyways, Saturday's usually the big day. You want to get there on Friday afternoon at least, but Saturday's your big day. And then Sunday, if a lot of guys leave, you get a lot of flying time with your buds and stuff. So it's still fine. Everything's still fine. But Thursday, there was no getting out of bed. None whatsoever. The voice was gone. Now I can't even call people, do anything. And, the whole thing looks, like even going just seems extreme. Like, I mean, the idea of walking to the van was impossible, and a pickup like a toolbox or a transmitter case, something just impossible. I was just like, can't do it. I'm starting to think, because this is Thursday now, I'm starting to think I'm deep into something. Last time I felt anything like it was pneumonia, and I was down for a few months. And I'm like, I'm not going to make this event. I can't believe it, but. Go, well, you if you hang in there, just get some sleep, you go get there Friday, or maybe even Saturday morning, something. You'll get better. You'll get better. So now I'm taking everything under the sun, I'm taking Mucinex DM because I have no voice. So I'm trying to clear my lungs and throat. So I'm taking the max strength that it's one every 12 hours. I'm taking two every like 2 hours. I'm taking antihistamines, decongestants, Dayquils, Tylenols for the fever. Like I'm taking everything I could find. And taking all the tests too. Wife kept getting me all the COVID tests and all the different variety of flu tests. And nothing's coming back, It's just like pneumonia symptoms. And I'm just dying, So now a Friday comes, I still haven't moved. And there's just no way to move, but all I'm thinking about is, I got to go rent the lights for the NorCal guys because we wanted to do that night flying, which I've never really done before, and they do it real good. And I go, I've already bought these lights and, for the planes, and I really want to do it. And it sounds so much fun because it was 44 out there at night. So that's brilliant. But I got in my head, I got to do this, I got to get, and then I got to rent the trailer. I got to, get the entertainer out there. We have the fire dancer and stuff, pay for all these 3 things and everything. But I can't even move, I have no voice whatsoever. Total laryngitis, can't move. I was thinking I got to do it. So I got up somehow and I had the trailer the van mostly packed. And I got over, they wouldn't take a credit card. I wouldn't even got up Friday, but the rental place wouldn't take a credit card over the phone for those lights, tower lights for the runway. They were pretty spectacular lights, man. They lit up like daytime, but so I had to drive. That was 2.5 hours to get to the rental yard so they could run my card. It's the only way they would do it. Now in hindsight, I mean, I was operating at 0.5%. I don't even know, 0.25% of 1% of 100%. Why did I do it? I just should have stayed in bed, We didn't have to have lights. I didn't have to go do any of that. Why would I drive 2.5 hours on Friday afternoon in traffic to go do that? It must be out of my mind. I'm not going to be out there in the 44-degree weather in those lights. But that was kind of my do or die, like the whole time. I knew I could miss some days, but I just had it in the back of my head. And with no sense anymore, it was just something that was sticking in the buffer, had to go. So I got up in the afternoon on Friday. I went over there and rented those lights and then totally crashed out again. But I rented the trailer again. So I pay for the lights. I pay for the trailer to get delivered, this big, nice trailer get delivered. And then I can't get out of bed though. And then I know the event's going to be over in a minute. So it's 1:30 on Saturday. I know this is kind of it. And I've missed, all the fun the last day and a half. And then also the only like calm winds we had were like the flights that I posted from Walter Colby. That real nice flight from Juan Sanchez, real nice flight from Kim Quinnett, real cool flights from both those guys. That was in Saturday morning, where the winds were very, very light breeze straight down the runway, very nice. And then Walter, he was tired of being out there and everything anyways from up north. So I paid all his expenses to come down and everything to film because he's Channel 2 Action News videographer up there. He's real good. And then so he wanted to roll out, or like to Saturday. So I, told him goodbye and stuff with my squeaky little voice. And I laid there and I thought, well, I can't fly, there's no way I could get up to try to fly. I mean, I can't even, move my hands forward to pick up a glass. Like I can't get the coordination for that. I go, but man, I'm going to miss the whole event, and everything. And I'm seeing people I know, but I can't really even talk to them or think about them. Not that they want to talk to me because I, look so sick and can't talk and I'm sucking cough drops. So, something's wrong. So everybody's like putting a cross out and standing 10 feet back. So, but I'm like thinking, could I even get my plane out of the van? Is it even possible? I could unbury that thing and get it out, put it together. But it's like 2 now. Winds are blowing pretty hard, and it's pretty miserable, for me. And I'm like, well, this is it. Plus, I'm not operating. I got no sense, I don't have a brain left to think about anything, to make a decision. So somehow I just say, well, you prepping for months, bought all this stuff, you gotta, and it's the last minute. So I put it together, I put this is a sweetheart. I love that plane, and I put it together and gassed it up. And then there was line, there's a lot of pilots, a lot of good pilots, and there's a line of planes, even in the afternoon there, you still had a line of planes. So I just threw it in line. I didn't know what was going on. And then I thought, well, that gives me time, I'll try, because I was so wasted from just putting the wings on. And I said, well, I'll try to see if I can get my head clear. And if I don't have my head clear, I just won't even go up. I go, that's good. So, but then about 20 minutes later, I got to the front of the line, and it's already in the afternoon, 3 o'clock or something. I don't know. On Saturday, the whole thing, it gets dark at 4:30. The whole thing's practically over. And I go, yeah, I don't know how. I didn't even really think about it. I don't think I flipped the prop because I was really afraid. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just put my arm right in and stuff. So then I think either Matt Dunmeyer or Juan Sanchez, somebody flipped the prop. And then I kind of realized, I guess my plane was on, and I guess I was on the runway. So, walked over to flight station, just kind of took off. And I just didn't, I flew some circles for a while. I just thought maybe and I couldn't really see the plane and stuff. I thought, well, maybe just fly a couple circles and land. And I think I popped the blender or something. And then Joe McBride went up, and we always fly kind of formations. So then we did like a parachute landing together. And yeah, I was like dead to the world. And then it was 4:30, and then it was dark already, and sunset, and the dancer showed up. And I'm squeaky talking to her, I'm trying to figure that out. Got her out there. And so the plan was to hover little electrics around her with lights on. Wanted to keep it real, safe and sane. Look good in the video, look very safe and legit. I only did that for like 2 or 3 minutes. I didn't know if I could stand up anymore, so I just landed. Fortunately, a couple of the guys won, and Nate, they stayed out there and did a real nice job. They always kept like 30 feet away and nice and smooth, but in the background, so kind of keep it interesting. But they are sea pilots, And then I think Juan started my plane. And I think me and him actually torque rolled. Like it was like 6 or 6:15. It was like 48 degrees then. And I don't know how, but that was just like a couple of minutes that I just couldn't even stand up. So then I landed that one. And then it was like 7. And I looked at my phone. It was 44 degrees. And I go, look, you got lights, you got a plane, you got wine, you got all this stuff. I go, you wait all year, you got all this stuff here, and you paid for all this stuff, and got all this stuff. And, when's it going to be that you have all this stuff again? You maybe never, And I go, you got to take advantage. You got to do some flights. Just try to go off, who cares and all that stuff. And then something in me just went, you know what? You probably have pneumonia. You are probably near dead. You're probably not going to finish this takeoff, let alone this flight. You better get everything packed as quickly as you can. Get some help from Matt Dunmeyer, and you better try to get home, which is like no traffic then, so it was like an hour and 20, I think. And you better try to get to bed, And I didn't like consciously think that. It was just something some subconscious, something deep down, some survival instinct just said that you just did that. And I was kind of aware of it, but not consciously thinking about it. And I went from, thinking this is a total waste not to do something. And I at least got to talk to some of my friends and maybe I'll, get a good night's sleep and we'll all fly tomorrow because it's Sunday, and have a great time and make up for everything. And I just started putting stuff away as fast as I could. I don't think I said goodbye to anyone, and they were still flying on, with the night lights all night, and flew Sunday and stuff. And then I made it home sometime around 10. I did not unpack anything. My van was full, just heaped up 3 airplanes, all this food, all this gas. I got so much gas. I planned to fly so much. I had 10 gallons of mixed fuel. I had 5 gallons of smoke oil. I think I smoked one flight, maybe 1.5 flights. I don't know, something like that. So all I needed was like a quart of smoke oil. I put a whole bottle of pina colada in it. So all the people got roosted, were just goosed out with pina coladas. And it was pretty awesome because the wind was blowing. When I flew, the wind was blowing 100% straight into the pits. It was direct cross on the runway. So all that smoke was blowing right into the pits. It was so cool for getting the spectators and stuff. So at least I managed that. But yeah, I got home. I didn't unpack anything. I was just dead. I went in. I don't think I took a shower, which I like to do a lot of times before I go to bed. It helps me sleep better. I just think I just laid down and then I started just shaking like a leaf, high fever. Yeah, getting ready to call 911 to get taken to the ER. Like I was like dead, but I kept taking Tylenol for my fever and like all the other drugs and everything. And in the morning, I felt horrible and had no voice at all, but I was like, I probably won't die. And then like 2 or 3 days went by just like that, like horrible, no voice, dead. And then like another 2 or 3 days went by where I was like just marginally better. And then today is what, Sunday night? So this is already like, is that 9 days? Yeah. 9 days since I drove home. I got up and walked outside to the garage. So, yeah, the well-laid plans of mice and man and everything else. And so I don't know. You could say I was a little unlucky. You could say I didn't deserve that, but I guess deserves got nothing to do with it. Anyway, I don't remember much of anything. I don't remember anybody flying. I don't remember any good flights or anything like that. I mean, I was only out there a couple hours in the afternoon on Saturday when it was blowing pretty hard. And I was pretty out of it. But thank God, Walter gave me those Saturday morning flights. And then Donnie gave me some flights and stuff. And I saw, that Kim and Juan were flying awesome. I know how awesome Juan is. I hadn't seen Kim fly in a while. Last few times I'd seen him fly, even at the Null a year or two ago, he looked like he was flying pretty IMAC-ish, pretty casual 3D. But yeah, he's like keeping a secret or something because he was XA going off. He really looked great, flew great. I have a whole flight of his, so I think I'm going to post that. Take off to landing. Walter did a real good job with that before he got tired and went home. He started just doing these little clips. He just stayed behind in the pits and filmed through people's heads and equipment and stuff and just get like 2-second clips before the planes would get out of view off the tripod. He was getting tired. But he was good Saturday morning for those good flights. So I got those 2 good ones. And so it looked like those guys flew great. Probably a bunch of other guys flew great too. I didn't. That's what I like these events for. I like to get the good guys to go. And Spencer had talked about wanting to go. And, we had these other good guys and stuff. But I love to watch these guys fly in person, get very inspired. And it's super cool. Didn't manage to do any of that. Didn't get to see anything. And if I was sitting right there watching it, I don't think I would have known what I was looking at anyway. I was just so out of it. But probably the worst thing was just not getting to socialize with everybody, because just starting to make friends with all these people last year and a half, I'm starting to have fun with everybody and looking forward to seeing everybody, and So that's my story. So when I couldn't talk, I was just dying. Like I was dying at the event because I wanted to talk. And when the entertainer showed up, Dylan, he gave me the mic. He goes, "Well, this is your event too, and stuff." Because Dylan been handling everything. Dylan took care of everything all year. He promoted everything. He got half of the uh, raffle prizes and all that stuff, and he put all the banners up. He got the field ready. He did all the negotiations with the club and all that stuff. And then he ran the whole event. I was never there. So he did all that stuff, and everything looked great to me the whole time, and all the videos looked great. So it looked like he did like an amazing job, and it was an amazing event. But I can't personally say that it was an amazing event because I was like there for a couple hours Saturday afternoon, and I was unaware of what was happening. I think it was pretty badass though. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, long story short, he gave me the mic. Well, that was a long story long, and all I could do was squeak a couple times. I said, "This Tiana, the fire dancer, and show her some love." I just squeaked it out and gave him the mic back. And that was my whole participation for the whole thing. I can't even promise you what I did say. It's like, man, really out of it. But, in hindsight, I don't know. I mean, yeah, 9 days in bed after that, 4 or 5 days in bed before that. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have gone. Probably shouldn't have got all the things I got for the event. I just stayed home and slept, took vitamins. What are you going to do, though? I don't know. I guess I was there. People tell me I was there. There's some video shows me if you look at Juan Sanchez's video from Skybound RC, he's got the highlight video reel of the event, and he's got me on the flight line Saturday afternoon, and you can see me. I'm chewing on some cough drops, and I got that spaced out look. If you watch me walking over the video, that's on my site. You see me walking over because Alvin got some video of me walking over to the pilot station, and got my mouth wide open. I can't breathe, and everything. Just trying to breathe out my mouth. And yeah, what are you going to do? I have big plans, and I had done a lot before. I could have been, resting like a couple months prior because I really wasn't flying very much. But, I always do that with other things too. Like some people get right at the main job, but I always like to do the details, the perimeter stuff first, the periphery. And so I was trying different planes like that Yak, and I was trying different stuff and prepping different things, working on different maneuvers that I wasn't really filming or anything. And then I figured I'd put it all together, at the end, which is what I do with, golf and rock climbing, different things. You train different aspects, and then, when you need to for an event, you put contest or competition or whatever, or a big climbing adventure. You put it all together, when you need to, and you just prep the details along the way and all that. And so I thought I had a master plan, but it would have been better to do something different, anything different. Probably in the end I shouldn't have gone, but yeah, now 9 days in bed. The wife's a little tired of me being around, laying there going, help me, help me. She got all the bedside manner of Nurse Ratched, by the way. She's one of these, where's my cowboy? She likes her tough man. She don't like no weakness. I don't think people generally do like weakness. They may say they do, but most people like strength. So that's I've been at the event, and especially after the event, I was just dying to talk. I'm a big talker, and I didn't get to talk forever, and I knew I was going to make up for it. But now my friends don't have to listen to me whine. I haven't talked to anybody. Joe McBride is called almost every day. I can't talk to him, no voice. And then Matt Dunbar has been calling him, no voice. And the boys from the field, Chris and stuff, been texting me, but haven't talked to anybody. This is the first time, so now I just get it off my chest. 30 minutes in here, and now everybody else won't have to listen to me whine all the time because I got to whine for you guys, which I've told you all along. This is very therapeutic for me. These garage videos, but I knew for a week and a half now I was going to eventually get out here and get this all off my chest. So anyway, the nice thing about being old, everything happens quick. It's almost January. In June, we're back in Sacramento for the AMOS SAC event with Juan and Andrew, Mike, and Nate. And Matt Dunbar is going this time. Maybe we'll get Mickey Crawley to go, and maybe some of the other guys will go too. And that place, it was so nice last year, and this time I'll get to use my 5 gallons of smoke oil this time. And I plan on being healthy. Last year I was healthy. Well, we were just talking, probably jinxed myself. Had some family dinners and stuff the last couple months. Everybody goes, "Oh, you never get sick." My wife says you never get sick. Everybody's been telling me for the last couple months you never get sick. So of course I got sick for the event. But anyway, that's about it. I thought, are there any highlights I should have told you about the event? But I think I had too much in a fog to really know. The dancer was cool. The nightlights were cool. A lot of good pilots. Big turnout. The event seemed to be run very smoothly. Had my speaker system out there that was working good. For the sound system. Trailer was nice. Paid for that whole trip, and I didn't get to use it. They picked it up on Sunday. I think they picked up the lights on Monday. And yeah. What else? What are the highlights? I don't know. Too out of it, but yeah. In Juan's video and my videos and stuff, you can see some cool stuff. And then Scott, who flies that drone, everybody has commented that Scott's pretty extraordinary in drone pilot. He's got a lot of videos, so there should be some more stuff coming up. And I'll post Kim's flight in its entirety. And yeah, let's chalk it up to one of those things. And then, next event's Sacramento in June, which, yeah, like I say, at my age, that'll come up in a flash. I'll be 65 years old for that. And, yeah, hopefully I'll have a few new tricks and have some fun. So that's my wrap up with my, 50% return voice. This voice, as bad as this sounds to you guys, I'm so thrilled I didn't even know I was going to have a voice again. I thought that's permanent because it was gone for so many days. I'm like, wow, this is bad. But, yeah, that's my story. Out for now.